That's why he's the champion.
6 games all. Second set tiebreak.
Absolutely miraculous recovery, that. Sampras taking the second set into a tiebreak.
Right, please. Thank you. Out. 1-0 Braash.
Well, he's done well to hold that opening point. Such an important point in a tiebreak, the opening one. If you lose your service point, it sets you right back on your heels. Louise won this one.
Whipping forehand return from Braash, and Sampras realises that Braash can't really penetrate off the backhand, so goes into the backhand volley for safety, but Braash coming up with his fine angle. Sampras dives but can't do what Becker can.
2-1 Braash.
Sampras saves himself with his 11th ace. Braash has the advantage of the service break, the mini break.
Braash.
Well, the secret here is to remain cool, not to get too excited at the prospect of taking a set from the champion. Yes, well played.
High quality tennis. And return, the wrong footing serve, a beautiful volley, and at the full stretch, Sampras was able to just flick it down the line, but Braash was there, not taking anything for granted. Now leads 4-1 in the tiebreaker. First set decided in a tiebreaker in Sampras's favour.
Oh, he's done another one.
Well, it's starting to appear that Carsten Braash only has one play when the ball's soft into his backhand. It's a little dink across court this time. Sampras getting there, but not early enough to really play an effective angle. And Sampras showing
5-1 Braash.
he's not really in top form, but how quick does Braash move around the net, and a little jump, little Bojangles jump.
Of course, if he'd touched the net before the ball had been dead, he would have lost the point. 5-1.
Braash.
And this time thoroughly wrong-footed and trying desperately to get a good grip on the greenish grass.
Well, we can't accuse him of not trying.
No, it's a very sincere effort at this stage. 5-2.
Whoa!
Tremendous tennis.
Pete does everything but wins this point. A beautiful return. Braash doing so well to get the ball back and very deep. It's a fine lob, and it gives Sampras the easiest shot to make, but he just doesn't do enough with the forehand. Maybe the ball didn't come up quite as high as he was expecting, Now 4 set points for Braash, 6-2.
He's done it. So after an hour and 33 minutes, Braash draws level, 7 points to 2. And the match very much alive.
Yes, Carsten Braash making a terrific match of that. Meanwhile, on court number 1, last year's beaten finalist Goran Ivanisevic was going through easily, really. The number 4 seed against Sebastien Lareux of Canada, 6-2, 6-4, 6-4. A couple of British players are out on court at the moment. Chris Wilkinson is on court 13 against Hendrik Driekman of Germany, and going well, 2 sets up. And Gary Henderson's got a battle on because he's up against Guy Forget, who always plays superbly well on grass here. You remember him ending Jeremy Bates's hopes of getting into the last 8 on 2 occasions, I think, and Forget leads that by 2 sets to love. He's seeded 16. And one result with a seed out in the Ladies' Championship, Amy Frazier of the United States. No, I've got it wrong. She's won 6-4, 7-5 against Stephanie Rottier of the Netherlands. So let's go back to centre court.
6-2 lead. We needed one of the set points.
Third set, sampras to serve. Seats, please. Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Not quite the score line that many people expected, but it's certainly worth it, is Braash.
15 love. 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 Sampras.
Well.
Please.
Knocked out of his hand as he went to play his return. Powerless
game,
to chase the volley. And Sampras off to a good start in this third set as well. He must be. And John, that was an extraordinary point.
Well, he could have chased it. It's just he wouldn't have had a racket to hit the ball back with. It's not a World Cup year, so the goal wouldn't have counted. What's happened? Where's my racket gone?
But surely by now Sampras should begin to understand what problems this unusual player poses.
Yes, I think he's picking up on a few things. He's certainly picking up on the dink backhand across court. When you volley into Braash's backhand without much pace, he doesn't have the ability to generate pace as Sampras does and come over the ball down the line or across court. And he's really settling the great majority of the times just to go for a little soft one across court. Sampras is onto that, but not always onto it quickly enough to really take care of it.
Time.
And the other thing that Sampras is aware of, but it's almost painful awareness, is that the German is sliding the left-handed serve to his backhand, I would say more than 90% of the time. It's a rare time that he goes into the forehand. And while Sampras knows it's going there, he's not really able to get down and get a feel for that shot to this point. It really is a tight match. It'll do him a power of good, provided he gets through. New balls.
Well, certainly Brash's anticipation has improved as the match has progressed. He's several times been in exactly the right place.
Thirty-one. Four-seamer. Game braash. One game all.
Well, he's certainly enjoying himself, isn't he, Carsten Braash? And well, he might set all against the defending champion. And with a little bit of luck, he could have won that first set.
Fifteen love.
Like an exercise in...
Very entertaining, but Sampras not doing anywhere near enough with the first volley. It was at shoulder height and inside the service line, but with fine touch. We've seen that forehand drop volley down the line several times.
And so just like an exercise in chess.
40. Game sampras. Sampras leads 2-1. Third set, 1 set all.
Because the last time Sampras was on this court, John, he was winning the title on a very different playing surface to the one they're playing on today. One of the problems, of course, about winning this championship, you have to be so adaptable.
Yes, and against a very different opponent, somebody who was 6'5" or so, and the ball really coming up high, which quite suits Pete Sampras, albeit quite a bit faster also. But it is one of the challenges that the players have to meet and overcome, and also the weather conditions can vary the speed of the court so much. If you've got, there is the temperature, it's just over 70 degrees, 72 degrees. A little bit more. Very, very pleasant playing conditions. But during the first week, especially if there's a little bit of rain, the courts can become very, very heavy.
Time.
And at times when the weather's been hot and dry, the bounce gets very fast and much, much higher. In fact, the first year that Bjorn Borg won the event, 1976, it was a very, very dry and hot year. And a lot of people thought that contributed to him winning. But we found out over the next 4 years that he could handle other conditions also. Carsten Brash's game really made for this low skidding court that we have on the first day. Serving 1-2 in the third set.
Out. 15 love.
On your heels. Louise won this one. That's why he's the champion.
6 games all. Second set tiebreak.
Absolutely miraculous recovery, that. Sampras taking the second set into a tiebreak.
Right, please. Thank you.
Sampras saves himself with his 11th ace. Braash has the advantage of the service break, the mini break.
Out. 1-0 Braash.
Well, he's done. He's done well to hold that opening point. Such an important point in a tiebreak, the opening one. If you lose your service point, it sets you right back.
2-0.
Ripping forehand
Braash.
return from Braash. And Sampras realises that Braash can't really penetrate off the backhand, so goes into the backhand volley for safety. But Braash coming up with his fine angle. Sampras dives, but can't do what Becker can.
2-1. Braash.